50 reasons why employers use Jobberman. Reason number 2, they do it all for you. Jobberman handles my full recruitment process for me, so if I do not have the time or the HR capacity to handle my recruitment, I can still get the best and brightest candidates for my organization. They do the advertising, shortlisting, and screening for me, and all I have to do is hire the right fit. And that's why thousands of employers choose Jobberman.
Are you an employer looking for a fast and efficient way to fill vacant roles, train employees, and outsource your human resource management? Visit www.jobberman.com.gh or call 054-290-4650.
Dear employer, are you ready to double your hiring power? Introducing the Jewel 2 promo. Twice the talent, twice the value. Here's how it works. Buy a listing and get one listing for free and enjoy faster, more accurate shortlisting from now to the 7th of March 2025. And here's what you get. Access to over 700,000 profiles, relevant candidates for your role, tailored tests to help you find the most competent talent, invite top 10 passive candidates who meet your requirement to apply, and the icing on the cake, free soft skills training for your team. Less stress, value for money. Don't miss out. It's time. Jewel 2. Twice the talent, twice the value. Post the job now. Dear employer, are you ready to double your hiring power? Introducing the Jewel 2 promo. Twice the talent, twice the value. Here's how it works. Buy a listing and get one listing for free and enjoy faster, more accurate shortlisting from now to the 7th of March 2025. And here's what you get. Access to over 700,000 profiles, relevant candidates for your role, tailored tests to help you find the most competent talent, invite top 10 passive candidates who meet your requirement to apply, and the icing on the cake, free soft skills training for your team. Less stress, value for money. Don't miss out. It's time. Jewel 2. Twice the talent, twice the value. Post the job now.
Sifting through CVs can be one of the most daunting tasks, especially for a recruiter like myself. Today, I'm excited to share with you our relevance ranking feature of our basic listing product. Our relevance ranking feature ranks applicants based on their relevance to your job description. This allows you to quickly filter candidates based on specific criteria such as qualification, education level, years of experience, or location. This means less time is spent reviewing candidates who have applied, as the most relevant ones are shown at the top rank in order. This saves you time and allows you to focus on interviewing only the most qualified candidates for the job. Ready to take your hiring process to the next level? Get started today.
Hello Ghana. Averagely, a single job listing receives 250 job applications. With so many candidates applying for a job posting, it can be overwhelming to manually sift through CVs and cover letters to find the most qualified candidates. Let me introduce to you the recommended candidate feature, which allows employers and recruiters like myself to match the recommended best fit for the job. Our recommended candidate feature uses data analytics and machine learning algorithms to score and rank candidates based on their qualifications and fit for the job. You are automatically presented 10 excellent candidates whom you can choose and invite to apply for your role. This saves you time and hassle of sifting through CVs. This is hiring made easy with you in mind. Get started today.
Tired of searching endlessly for the right job? With Jobberman, you are in control. We connect you to top job opportunities right at your fingertips. But it doesn't stop there. Jobberman also offers essential skills training so that you can grow and stay competitive. Plus, you will get personalized job ads for roles tailored to your experience and interests. No more missed opportunities. Unlock your potential, achieve your career goals, and take the next step with Jobberman Ghana today. Sign up now and start your journey towards a better career.
I can start speaking. Good morning, afternoon, evening, everyone, and welcome to the insightful session on building high-performing teams, the role of soft skills in the workplace. I'm Etonam, I'll be your host for today, and I'm not here alone. I'm here with two very resource-rich persons that we're going to be learning a lot from today. So tighten your seatbelt even as we go on this 1 hour or so journey. Now, let's begin with a quick question. Have you ever worked with someone who was incredibly talented, but their attitude made teamwork unbearable? Or on the flip side, have you seen a team achieve very incredible results, not just because of their technical expertise, but because they communicated well, showed empathy, and collaborated seamlessly? That's what today's conversation is about. So without much ado, I'm going to go ahead to introduce our very first speaker for today. We have him in the person of Christian Agbasi Tete, and I don't want to mince words on what he stands for, and so I'm just going to go ahead and read a very short profile of his. So Christian Tete Agbasi is a certified trainer and facilitator, L&D specialist, and leadership development consultant with over 14 years of experience in diverse roles and industries. He's worked for, facilitated, and undertaken training, learning, and development projects in Ghana, Kenya, Nigeria, and Ivory Coast for small, medium, and global multinationals, both in the public and private sector in multiple industries. He founded Oakleaf Training and Consulting since 2013 and its lead consultant and facilitator. As an L&D manager with Airtel, Christian trained over 800 people in soft skills, leadership, and management topics. Christian is a training associate for UK-based global training firm Hemsley Fraser, and he's a licensee and master trainer for Great Training Method course on behalf of Lynn Stevens Training, South Africa. He holds an MBA in HR from SMU India and a BA Psychology and Information Studies from the University of Ghana. He's a certified trainer, also from University of Cape Town, South Africa, and from Lynn Stevens Training, South Africa. So a very welcome to you, Christian Tete Agbasi. Thank you so much. It's exciting to host you again. We look forward to learning so much from you. I'm going to also go ahead and introduce Yvonne Enam Ahli. Yvonne is a highly accomplished strategic human resource professional with over 10 years hands-on experience driving business growth and transformation. She is currently the People and Culture Manager for West Africa for SMEC International. She is an executive coach and a team player with natural leadership skills. Her areas of expertise include learning and development, talent acquisition, leadership development, psychometric testing, coaching, and HR auditing. She holds a master's degree in business decision management from Coventry University in the UK a chartered member of the Chartered Institute of Human Resource Practitioners Ghana, ISO certified professional in conducting HR audits. She is also a licensed psychologist and holds a BA psychology from the University of Ghana. Thank you so much for joining us, Yvonne. So, welcome again, and we're just going to dig into the conversations.
Thank you.
Is Kristen here? I hope you can all hear me.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yes, I
So
am.
here's
I'm here.
So
Thank
here's
you for
something.
having me, and I'm glad to join the conversation.
It's exciting to have you as well. So here's something for everyone that's in the webinar today to think about. Did you know that according to Harvard University study, 85% of job success comes from well-developed soft skills, while only 15% is attributed to technical skills? Yet, many companies still prioritize technical expertise over interpersonal effectiveness. And it's a mindset that we need to shift. I'm just going to pick your thoughts on that, Yvonne. If you can give it a go for us. Why is that the case, and is it really necessary, to have that mindset shift when it comes to soft skills?
Yes, thank you, Eto, for the opportunity. So, I would say that historically, technical skills have been regarded as the most important and desirable abilities. And over the years, we've seen that in various recruitment, various organizations requiring specific technical skills. But I believe that we as organizations, as individuals, we need to be adaptable, and which is one key soft skill. And as time changes, trends keep changing with AI taking the space now. I think organizations would need to a mindset shift. Let me put it that way, because back then technical skills would have gotten the job done, but now research shows, statistics from NSS shows the same, that 85% of skills that are required on a job success is soft skills. And I think it's been called soft skills, and so I think a lot of organizations undermine its potential. So in recent times it has been referred to as power skills, because it is what you actually need to excel on the road, not just soft, because soft gives it a look as though it's not really necessary, but power skills shows you that it is what you need, that is what you need to succeed. And I think a research from LinkedIn Workplace also said the same. It says that 3 out of every 5 top skills that companies need are mostly soft skills. And key among those skills, top was communication. And so I believe it's a trend that organizations needs to also warm up to. That they has the technical skills good, but you need the power skills to excel.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Yvonne. Yeah, that's extremely, and organizations just have to shift to put premium on those as well, because we are in the recruitment space, and it's interesting to see how an employer would automatically highlight a person's technical ability over their power skills, as you have rightfully taught, taught us this afternoon. I'll take your thoughts on that as well, Christian. How can this mindset shift happen?
Good. So I agree largely and completely with Yvonne. So over the years, the focus has been on what technical abilities you bring to a job. So if someone is an engineer, is able to come with his engineering ability, getting things fixed, maybe maintenance, getting a machine fixed, getting a machine working, and all that. So people were just interested in that. But the world has moved from the um, that age of industrial age and all that into a new world where focus is being placed on how well we are able to collaborate together with others to get things done, how well we are able to lead others, how well we are able to communicate, how emotionally intelligent we are. So many organizations still do not understand the technicalities of soft skills yet. So you look at a normal job description today, and you'll find that there's so much focus on the technical abilities. So anyone who is an engineer, 95% of the time, their engineering skills are in check. But maybe 40% of the time, their soft skills are in check. So it's important for us to focus a little more on the soft skills. I have seen engineers become team leads, become MDs or head of departments, and they failed. But before they assumed those roles, they were excellent on their technical ability on delivering job quality and all that. I have seen salespeople become sales managers or team leaders of their sales team, and they failed because not because they didn't know sales, they know sales very well, but they didn't have the skills, the soft skills to lead their team, to manage their team, to communicate well, to lead meetings and all that. And then now they didn't have the skill to manage conflict in their teams. So problems begin to arise in the team. And a team that used to achieve sales targets suddenly begins to drop. It's because the leader of the team doesn't have what it takes to drive the team. So I think that every organization needs to make that mindset shift, recognize the key role of soft skills from the entry point, recruitment, all through training and everything, to giving people promotional opportunities and all that. Soft skills should be key and in all these activities. Thank you.
Totally agree with you on that. Gone were the days when, as a developer or a programmer or a tech person, all you needed to do was to sit behind your laptop, know how to do what you do very well, being able to code the complex of things, and then your rising through the career ranks is guaranteed. But it's no longer the same. You'd realize that many people who are looking for programmers or developers will also be looking for a project management side of things, which is not just the processes that are involved in project management, but your ability to coordinate, a number of people through communication and these other soft skills that we are going to be looking at. Now, I see organizations talking a lot about high-performing teams or a high-performing team, etc. For me, I think that one of the things that makes a high-performing team is the ability to hone and develop their soft skills. So I'm going to throw this question out there: that what are the most critical factors that define a high-performing team? Yvonne, if you can take that for us.
Okay, so when you say a team is performing well or a high performing team, it should, first of all, there are three key things that you should see. First of all, it should be consistency in their performance. They are doing well consistently and efficiently as well, and effectively. And why would they be doing this? I think there are certain factors that come to play. First of all, I would say there should be clear goals and objectives. Without clear goals and objectives, I mean, everyone understanding what has to be done and their individual roles, the team will not be able to achieve its success. And then, of course, leadership is also key. Effective leaders would inspire and guide this team in order for them and support them to achieve what they have to. And then open communication is also another factor. I believe that communication is key. Being transparent in your communication, being as plain and open as possible. And then trust and respect is key. I mean, and most of these things I mentioned, you will see that as soft skills, communication, for instance, being able to be open with your team. Then trust and respect. If your team members are able to build that trust and respect with you because of your emotional intelligence, for instance, you are able to manage your emotions very well. And then, of course, diverse skills is necessary for a team to be performing well. you need a mix of complex skills with a team with different skills and different strengths, and then you can see that this team will be heading towards a direction. And then one final factor I'll talk about is continuous improvement. Now, a team that is doing well would need to be committed to learning and development. Always, I mean, a growth mindset where you are open to learn, then where adaptability comes in, because circumstances or situations may change, but your ability to adjust yourself quickly to fit the situation would lead your team to always keep performing on top. So that's my little take on that. That's all, we can't hear you.
Sorry about that.
Mhm.
Before I go to Christian, I would want to say a thank you, a big thank you for all of you joining us from all over the world today. Feel free to put in your questions, your comments, anything else that you want to share will be there, and we would attend to them as the conversation evolves. So, Christian, I want to know, sometimes in pressure situations when it comes to the workplace, your technical abilities don't help you to navigate those challenges. So, if you can share with us some of the soft skills that are key to navigating pressure situations in the workplace. We face them all the time.
Good. Thank you for that. I think that every one of us understands that the work environment today has a lot of pressure than before, and that every one of us can work under pressure on our CVs when we are supposed to put our CVs together, even though we are not prepared to work under pressure. So the word of work is fast paced. Nobody's waiting for you to think to go and think over something and come back. You should be ready to produce results regardless of what happened. There are multiple projects happening at the same time, and you should be able to manage them and deliver the project object. So yes, the world of work is full of pressure, and especially our Gen Z generation needs to understand that it's pressure out there, and it's not a soft life in the place of work. So yes, what soft skills will help you to be able to manage pressure, contain the pressure, and be able to still deliver on the objectives of your work? So for me, key is your communication skills, because in a pressurized environment, what you say is very important, because people's emotions are high because people are stressed. What you say to them is very important. What if any statement you not make rightly could get anyone angry, because most of the people in a pressurized environment are on the edge. The other point quickly I will add is that your ability to manage stress, even in high pressured environments, how you manage your stress, understanding that this is about a job and it's not personal, so that even when I'm stressed, I am able to manage the environment around me. Then again, your emotional intelligence, how mature are you emotionally, such that even when someone makes you angry at that moment, you will not respond negatively. When there's too much pressure on you, how do you talk to people? How do you relate to people? That's critical. So, an emotionally intelligent person will be able to work in such an environment that is high pressure. Again, your ability to collaborate with people. Collaboration means that we are working towards a goal. We are working together towards a goal. Regardless of what happens, regardless of what is supposed to separate us, we will focus on the goal to achieve the goal. Then again, I will your ability to manage and navigate through conflict is very critical to be able to work in a high pressured environment, because conflicts may arise, differences may arise. People will get angry that you are driving them too fast. They need to go rest. But work needs to be done. There are deadlines to be met. How are you able to accommodate the views of these people and put them together for the team to come together to be able to achieve the objectives? So these and many more are critical. I believe that every soft skill is critical to be able to work in today's high pressured work environment.
Thank you so much, Christian. I'm just going to hop on that. I mean, how do you communicate when the stakes are high? Because let's take, for instance, someone speaks to you in a way you don't like. What's your response going to be? So, Yvonne, the question I want to find out is, can you learn soft skills? Is it something that can be learned? Is it something that can be trained on, or you just have to walk into the workplace a bag of soft skills?
Okay. Should I attempt or quiz first?
No, Yvonne, that was for
I
you.
can. Okay, so I would say that soft skills can be learned, and in fact, soft skills are even transferable skills, and so you could even study. I mean, so that's where mentoring comes in. So you see someone who has good emotional intelligence. I mean, he's able to regulate him or herself very well. Is able to, when situations happen, and in the psychology bit of it, we have something we call mindfulness, being present at mind. At every time, you are able to control what you are thinking about and the environment and the situations around you. And so you see someone who is exhibiting, I mean, top-notch soft skills in terms of communication. This person is good, is able to manage their stress levels well. I mean, in this fast-paced world, it's very necessary, like Chris was saying, communication. And so you are able to even be mentored by this person to pick up some of these skills. Recently in my organization, we did a mentoring program, which was where we paired top senior managers with middle level managers. And the goal was to help them pick up certain leadership traits and skills. And the results was amazing. So soft skills can actually be learned. They are actually transferable as well through mentorship, through coaching. And so, I mean, you have opportunities everywhere around you. We have examples, models you could pick bits and pieces from. So it can be learned. And I believe that is why Christian is into developing people as well, into learning some of these soft skills. Once you put your mind to it, definitely you can excel at it.
Thank you. So that's for all of us on the call. Soft skill is not a reserve for a select few. Soft skill is for everyone. So if for some reason you're not very strong in a particular soft skill, maybe communication, your ability to adapt and all of that, our resource persons are showing us that they are competencies that you can actually develop. I think we lost Christian for a bit. Yeah, so I'm just going to move on. Yvonne, okay, so Christian is back. Welcome back. We lost you there for a bit.
Thank you.
It's
Thank
difficult
you.
these days to ignore artificial intelligence in any conversation at all, because whether we like it or not, it's come to stay. It's a part of everything that we do. Now, with AI automating many technical tasks, there's a LinkedIn report from 2023, their Future of Work report highlights, that says that soft skills are more in demand, and this is a no-brainer. We know that than ever. So, what are some of the soft skills for the future? How will professionals be able to future proof themselves in a world where AI is almost taking over most of the hard skills? Christian, if you can throw some insights there for us.
Yes, thank you. Truly, the world is changing very fast. And what used to be technical skills today um, is considered soft skills. So your ability to even navigate AI tools, which many would have thought was a technical skill, today it's a soft skill. I mean, project management used to be a technical skill. Today it's a soft skill. Everyone's job has a component of project. Everyone is managing project at work. Everyone. The little task you're supposed to complete, your boss gives you an assignment to complete in 3 days. It's a project. So project management skills have become essential. We need a computer science graduates and information technology graduates to be in every office, every department to help people navigate little things on their computers. Today, everyone is supposed to be computer literate to the point that programming, coding is going to be soft skills in the future. And we are there already because for every little thing you are doing today, you will need to be able to understand how programming languages work and all that. And we are going to get to that point. So the things we consider soft skills or we consider hard skills today are becoming soft skills. So the world is changing very fast, becoming sophisticated very fast. Today, um, um, there are simple tools to determine what color of painting will suit a room. Okay. It was technical before for an architect or an interior designer to determine the colors of a room and all that. Today, there are softwares available. So anyone can determine what colors will be suitable for this building just by switching on a software and putting a few things in together. So everyone, I mean, no job is really, really technical anymore. Every job is becoming a soft skill. Okay. Civil engineers are requiring a lot of soft skill on their job because if you don't communicate well, accidents will happen on site. Okay, so soft skills are becoming essential. Hey, get your degrees in civil engineering, in computer science, and whatever. But whilst you are getting your degree, ensure that you develop your soft skills. Unfortunately, in our part of the world, soft skill development is quite difficult in school because when I was in university, we had 1,400 students in my psychology class. Okay, from level 100 all the way to level 400, 1,400. And in political science, there were two classes of about 1,600 each. Okay, so the soft skill development in school, it comes up by getting the opportunity to answer questions or ask questions in class. I mean, before a large number of people. It get it also by making presentations in school. I mean, standing in front of the crowd and making a presentation, it doesn't happen today, except in some of the private universities and maybe school of University of Ghana Business School and all that, where the numbers are small, the class where the numbers are small. But the large numbers have made it very difficult for us to get opportunity to develop our soft skills. So I tell young people, join clubs, join associations, join small groups, participate in the activities, become leaders in these associations. I mean, take up responsibility, do things, make decisions, communicate, contribute to debates. It helps to build your confidence. It helps to build your communication skills. It helps to build your critical thinking ability, your problem solving ability. All these are essential soft skills that we need. And hey, anyone can develop soft skills. It's never too late for anyone. 70-year-old, you can develop any soft skills you want to develop today. Okay, no one is born with an extreme ability to communicate. Everyone learns it from the environment they grew up in. Okay, so we can all learn. We can all be trained to learn.
Thank you so much for shedding light on that for us. For me, this is my personal opinion that things are going to be changing and at a very incredibly fast pace. And one of the things that you need, just as you just shared with us, is your ability to adapt quickly with the change. So, Jobberman, I'm sure we have employers on our webinar today. Jobberman is offering an exclusive opportunity for all employers and hiring managers. We are calling it the JU2 promo. Get twice the talent and twice the value when you buy a job listing. You get one free, but that's not all. Your team also gets complimentary soft skills training to help build a high performance workforce. Take advantage of this limited time offer to access over 700,000 high quality candidates expertly filtered to match your hiring needs. Don't miss out. Post a job today and secure a top talent for your business. Terms and conditions apply. So, going back to our conversation, talking of employers, what are some of the challenges employers might face when it comes to hiring a team with strong soft skills? I think it's one of the key challenges that employers are facing, and they are also on the webinar today. We want to lend a helping hand. So, Yvonne, what are some of the challenges they might face in
Okay.
trying to put together a high performance team that are very well versed when it comes to soft skills?
Okay. So first of all, I would say that assessments, soft skills are harder to measure than technical skills. Somebody goes to as a civil engineer, you can't do your work. It's easier to say, okay, do this, and you can easily do it. But when it comes to soft skills, is it's harder to measure, and so that is why we need to be more, how do I call it, deliberate about measuring these skills during the hiring process. Okay, so focus should more drift more to behavioral interview, where you are asking candidates questions that would help them come up with situations and how they behaved or conducted themselves in a particular situation, for you to be able to pick some of these skills. And of course, know that there should be unconscious biases are also there that can affect your hiring decisions. And so you are, as a recruiter, you are looking out for a candidate with a particular skills, but at the same time you're looking out for somebody who has been to this particular school because of maybe their reputation and all that. And also cultural fit, it's also key. Some people may have the soft skills that align, but they may not align with your company's culture, because every company's culture is unique and different. And so these are all some of the challenges that come with it. But I believe that, I mean not so far into the future, hiring process would also be more of skills assessment, soft skills assessment instead of hard skills. So these are some of the challenges, and then we can curtail it right from the hiring stage.
Thanks for sharing that. Christian, any thoughts on that as
Let
well?
me add my thought to that quickly. To save employers the headache of having to conduct their own assessments and the difficulty in finding out the people with the strong soft skills, Jobberman makes it very easy. Jobberman does its own assessment of the people that you recruit through them. They have software to do all this already. And Jobberman also provides a lot of soft skills training for its people. So, the easier way to go through this is to get Jobberman to be your recruiter, and you could benefit from the right people with strong soft skills coming together into your team to deliver. Thank you.
Thank you, Christian. You just sold us there. Thank you so much. Yeah. So, again, back to the employers. A lot of organizations still don't see. I really want us to push this too, because once organizations are sensitized on the need to invest in honing
I'll give
their
you an invoice.
That's well noted, Christian. So we're trying to, in as much as we sensitizing the job seeker, we also sensitizing the employer on the need for developing the soft abilities of their employees. So how can leaders of these businesses foster a culture of continuous learning? I mean, I still also hold the opinion that every individual is supposed to own their continuous improvement, development, and all of that. But there's also a place for the organization providing that bedrock or support. So, Yvonne, in your opinion, how can these organizations foster a culture of continuous learning?
Okay, so say first of all, organizations need to encourage curiosity. These days we had, most people shy away from asking asking questions. They want to just be in the background. But where the culture of the organization is promoting curiosity, where people are free and not afraid to ask questions and are open, I believe that it will go a long way to help them develop some of these soft skills. And also offering the resources, offering access to training and development programs. Most organizations, like where I work, for instance, we have a learning platform, self-paced, where you have access to learn any skill at all. Recently, I was even learning something about Power BI, like Chris was saying. Very soon, coding and the rest will not even be technical skills or hard skills. And so the organization should create that platform where staff or resources are made available to staff that they can easily go in. Some organizations go to the extent of signing up all their staff on LinkedIn Learning as well. And where we have companies like Jobberman also offering soft skills training. Organizations could also buy into that, enroll their employees, and also leading by example as well. Leaders in organizations should model this continuous learning attitudes, and then I believe that very soon it will catch up with the entire organization.
Thank you for sharing that with us. So, what's the role of mentorship when it comes to soft skills learning? I'll just shelve that question for now. Christian, you have also been training for decades now across geographies. I'm sure you've met employers who are very resistant. You've conducted your needs assessment. There's clearly a skills gap in a particular soft skill area, and you've met employers who have refused, like selective ignorance, refusing to see the need and probably invest in that. What can you share with these employers? I mean, because people will be willing to pay money for value. So what value do they get in investing in these soft skills for their employees?
So truly, many employers, particularly those who are ignorant of the role of soft skills training, they often will spend money on technical skills. So the guy is an engineer, take him to go and learn maintenance, take him to go and learn how to do this and that. They often say the training must be related to the job. So they are focused on the technical part of the job. Take the production team, teach them how to operate this machine. That's all they care about. So today, on the factory floor, many organizations just focus on train them to manage the machine. Nobody's training them on how to manage conflict. Nobody's training them on how to manage their emotions. Nobody's training them on how to solve problems. Even problem, they just focus on technical problem solving. So there is little spend on soft skills training. Okay, team building, team skills, communicating to others, collaborating to work and all that. Nobody's thinking about that because they don't want to spend money. And the reason is that they feel when I spend money on emotional intelligence training, what do I get out of it? Because they can't quantify they can't see it as a skill, but they can see the guy operating the equipment. They see it as a skill. Okay, we need to move. We need to move our mindset from that technical ability to the soft skills, what even calls the power skills. They actually the skills able to function properly in their technical skills. Okay, because you could have 6 guys who are working on a production floor, producing. Could be one person is dating another one of them's girlfriend outside, something outside from work, but they will carry it to your factory floor, have arguments, and that will prevent them from being able to work together as a team because you didn't train them to be able to collaborate and resolve conflicts together. So now, instead of this person supporting the other person to ensure, seamless production, they are finding ways and means to sabotage each other. So your production begins to suffer. The results of your expected results begin to suffer, all because of one act of conflict, which they don't have the soft skills to manage. So I will speak to employers by telling them that, hey, you have to give focus to soft skills. And some of us coming to this, but when we train your people, what we are doing essentially is to align whatever training we are doing in soft skills to the key objectives or deliverables of your organization. So you can actually tell that, hey, this training on team building or team skills has helped to shift or to increase my production or to reduce conflicts on my factory floor, in my workspace, on my work environment, and things are being done faster. There is high productivity. So I think that for many employers, the people who they give their training jobs to are the people failing them. So find the right trainers, talk to Jobberman, talk to me. We have the right skill set to be able to ensure that every little money you are spending on training will bring high productivity to your business. Thank you.
That's spot on, Christian. I mean, there's a saying that what cannot be measured cannot be managed. And unfortunately, the people, the
Absolutely.
drivers of these initiatives within the businesses, in this case, mostly the HR leaders of the business, are not able to design that business case for why, so for me, I think that part of the training should also be geared towards HR leaders within these businesses. I mean, how do you create a business case for why the employer should invest in these soft skills? Yvonne, so I just want to pick your thoughts on this. Okay, I once consulted for a startup fintech that had a CTO extremely talented. In fact, that person is working for Microsoft at the moment. But for some reason, all the developers just won't stay. They kept coming and going. They kept coming and leaving. And after probing for a while, we realized that there was a challenge when it comes to the scale of conflict resolution. And again, there's a saying that people leave managers. They don't leave jobs, they leave managers. And most of the exits that we see, many times, you can correct me if I'm wrong, it has something to do with a team leader, a manager, or anyone else in that high ranking position. So I want you to just share with us how leaders can foster a culture of healthy conflict resolution, which is also a soft skill that managers especially require to manage their teams.
Okay, so I would dwell on feedback. I believe feedback is very key. In our fast-paced environment, you need feedback, whether positive or negative. And I think that is one thing that most leaders or managers, or let me put in quotes, bosses shy away from. Now, when you give constructive feedback to your people, it would even avoid the conflict in the first place. And so something is not being done well, you can first of all acknowledge what is going well, and then you come in with what is going wrong, and of course actionable steps, what needs to be done to make that thing right. I believe, in the situation of the CCO, he may be very good at his work, but the people you are working with, are you able to give them feedback such that maybe something is going wrong, they know, and they know how to handle it, how to deal with it. But where feedback is not given, it will create rooms for conflicts, because I've done my work and all I know is I did my best. And my boss is not telling me whether it's good or whether it's bad. Or even if he says it's bad, he doesn't tell me what is wrong with it and what are the steps I need to take to correct it. So I believe feedback is key. Constructive feedback would help in, avoiding the conflicts. And even when the conflicts arise, I believe that is where emotional intelligence would also come in, because conflicts are inevitable. You can't avoid them. But how are you able to deal with the conflicts when they arise? Communication is very key. Like, you could have a team where everyone else thinks they are right, and you know that that team is heading towards disaster, because definitely you can all not be right. We all have our strengths and we all have our weaknesses. And so when there's an issue or there's a situation, clear communication becomes very necessary, where you are able to understand the root cause of the problem, not attacking people but attacking the situation at hand, and coming up with solutions. Okay, most people are just, emotionally driven. They are not solution driven. Something is happening and they are upset. I'm just angry about what is happening. you don't know what to do, you are just angry. So don't be emotionally driven, but rather be solution driven. What is wrong? What can be done to correct it? And so I think by following this, we are able to even deal with the conflicts when they arise. And even by giving feedback, we can even avoid the conflicts altogether.
Thank you so much for sharing that. I'm going to hop on that again and tie it in with something Christian mentioned earlier, so that Christian, you share your thoughts on that for us. You mentioned emotional intelligence. I went past it because it's like a whole webinar on its own. But very quickly, okay, in your exam, I'm sure you've rolled out several EQ trainings, but in your experience, what are some of the most underrated emotional intelligence traits that separates great leaders from average ones? And it would be great if there's a real life example that you have to share on that.
Great, thank you. So, emotional intelligence is a key driver for leadership and for team working in the workplace. In our part of the world, it looks like it's still new because many people are not aware exactly what this is about because there's limited training, or many people have limited exposure to this. So, how well you know yourself. So, self awareness is very important when it comes to emotional intelligence. Self awareness, self management is key. How well you are able to manage yourself. Okay. Then empathy. How do you empathize with other people? Because the component of emotional intelligence, or the emotional intelligence, the two basic components. One is how well you are able to know and manage your own emotions, and then how well you are able to manage the emotions of other people. Okay, so if I cannot empathize with people, it's difficult for me to be able to manage their emotions for them. So these components are critical. Okay, many people are not self-aware. They don't know themselves. They don't know, one, what skills they have. They don't know what emotional triggers they have. So they find out that they get emotional at every time and over every situation. It's important for you to know what are the emotional triggers. How self-aware am I? What skills do I have? What skills do I not have? How well are you able to manage yourself? This is critical. So we employers need to, if only you are employing people and they have to work with you, and you don't provide the requisite soft skills training for them to be able to be on top of their game in their workplaces, then it essentially means that you are not getting the best out of them. So employers need to ensure that their learning design for their people includes components like emotional intelligence, so the people are able to manage their emotions well. You will never know the importance of emotional intelligence until you promote someone to become general manager of your business, human resource manager of your business, financial manager of your business, and through one emotional outburst with a major client, you lose that major client. Then you will understand that, hey, I have lost a revenue of $10 million per year from one client because my marketing manager or my project manager had an emotional outburst with the MD of that company. Okay, so these are essential things that we need to get our team on and be able to provide the best for them. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Christian. So, for every employer, there's a remedy for your talented, but okay, I'm going to just hold back on that. You have talented managers, but are a bit challenged when it comes to emotional intelligence and other soft skills. The gap, the solution is to bridge the gap through training rather than just to let people who are very talented out the door, because if you do your research properly, you realize that they cost about 1/3 or more of a person's salary to fill a role when people keep walking outside of your doors. So we are fast approaching our wrap-up time, but before we do that, I just want to, Yvonne, I want you to help us with this. How can organizations measure the impact of the soft skills training? Because Christian mentioned earlier that if you can make a business case for why the training should happen, then they don't see the need. So that resistance will always be there. So how can they measure the impact of these soft skills? Because you've seen how many people are excited about going for trainings, and so they pay for these very expensive trainings and all these trips, and they go and they come back, and 3 months down the line, the employer didn't see any impact of that training they paid so much for. And so making a case for the next one is just difficult.
Nightmare.
They resist it. Yes. So how do they measure? How can they measure the
Okay.
impact of this soft skills when they decide to invest in them?
Okay, so I'll say I'll mention three things basically. So the first I'll say is feedback and service. I mean, when people go for training, after some time, you need to collect feedback from their employees as well as their managers. How are they doing on their job? Has anything improved? I believe that these things can be seen, but until we ask, we don't get it. And also on this part of the trainers, they leave their training. I mean, they leave everything after the training that ends it. But there should be post-training measures as well, where as a trainer also you are going in to see that this you saw a skills gap and you provided a soft skills training. 2 months down the line, 3 months down the line, how are they doing? You gather this feedback. Then also performance metrics. And recently in my organization, we introduced a new metric in the performance appraisal system, which is measuring soft skills. And so all you are supposed to do is the values of the organization, soft like communication, adaptability. You are supposed to come up with instances where you use that in your job and it is created. There's a reason for it. And I believe that when you are doing some of these things as organizations, employees begin to see the need and the relevance. I can be very good at my work, but if nobody wants to work with me because I have very bad temper, I talk to people anyhow, then the work will not progress. And of course, I believe every organization wants to see productivity and increase, and it will only happen when the right people are doing their work well. And it's just not the hard skills but the soft skills as well. And so performance metrics is also another. Then also retention rates is key, like Eto you mentioned earlier. People leave their bosses, not necessarily the company. Your retention rates can also give you an idea on how, I mean, to measure your soft skills and how it's doing well. Monitor people, how are they leaving this particular department, for instance. You are always hiring. You should be alarmed to find out what is happening there, what is not going well there. And I believe using these three that I've mentioned, I believe Christian can also mention others. It will help organizations to actually measure the impacts of their soft skills training.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us, Yvonne. Um, Christian, welcome back. I think we lost you there for a bit. We were just talking about how
Yeah.
organizations can measure the impact of their soft skills so they would be willing to invest in that area. And also share your thoughts on how organizations do the one size fits all kind of training. So, I mean, it's part of what we do as a part of our HR activities annually. We have to train. So, yeah, I think you should train on this. This other person train on that. And there's no needs assessment. There's nothing, and we just going for the training. I'm sure there's a structured approach to soft skills development, and I want you to share that with our employers.
Good. Thank you so much. And I think Yvonne has spoken well on that. The challenge we have had is that many HR departments are just ticking boxes. So, oh, how many trainings have you conducted last year? We did 5. There's proof for it. So that is why we are not able to measure the effect, impact in terms of performance and results and productivity. We can't make a good business case for the dollar spent on training the previous year, but we expect the MD and then the finance manager to be able to budget for another training this year. So the challenge is, first, why are you training? Why are you training? Okay, that question must be answered. We are not training because there has to be training. Why are we training? If we are training because there's a skills gap in particular department or particular employees, then those employees, we need to determine, one, whether they need training or not, because training is not the only L&D intervention. It's not the only intervention. We can train, we can coach, we can mentor, okay, and we can move people from one job to another job. All these are ways to get people to learn and to begin to perform. So we need to first identify if there is really a need to train. Now, if there is a need to train, what are we training on? Okay, so then we do a needs assessment to determine what specific learning or knowledge or skills gaps are causing the lack of performance. What kind of training is needed to be able to do that? And this, not everybody can do this. Excuse me to say, but many HR managers think that because they are HR managers, they can tell what training programs should be done. No, training is a specialized area within the full or the bigger L&D, the bigger HR space. It's a specialized function, very specialized function. Okay, when I found myself in L&D, I said, no, I'm not leaving this. I don't want to be an HR manager. I find it too boring. I just want to stay within this specialized space. Okay, some people enjoy being HR managers. That's fine. I'm not belittling that at all. No, but I would love to remain in L&D in training and leadership development, because I realize that it's an ocean here in Africa. Um, um, People have been trained, they have the special skill sets to be able to determine what the learning needs of a person, of a team, of a department, of an organization are. Let such people come in and help you. You see, when we are able to do proper learning needs analysis, 50% of our trouble is taken care of. We cannot measure something that had a wrong foundation. You can't measure the impact of learning when the foundation itself is wrong in the first place. So once you did wrong diagnosis, that's the learning needs, whatever medicine you give and whatever measurement, however you take the medicine, how long you take it will not solve the problem. Okay, so proper needs analysis is key. Then you can tell that, okay, we need to design training. Who is designing the training? Who is doing the training? It's essential. Many people think that, oh, once this manager is good, it means he can train. No. Knowledge is one. Impacting that same knowledge to another person is another thing. So that manager now needs to know how to be able to facilitate training. Then they can be able to transfer their knowledge, their skills to other people. Skills transfer is a specialized skill. Designing content is specialized skill. It is not just a PowerPoint that you show to people. No, that's not what about. That's not what it is. I do training without PowerPoints. Sometimes a whole 2-day training, I have just 5 slides for the whole 2-day training. Okay, so the training is not the PowerPoints. The training is a design, it's a learning design. It's what you are doing. So what goes into adult learning is very critical. You cannot be telling adults what to do. You work with them, you engage them, you interact with them. The truth is that many of our work colleagues or many working people know what they have to do. They are just not motivated enough to do it, or they don't know why they have to do it. So sometimes in training sessions, all we are seeking to do is to bring people to a self-awareness. that this thing you are not doing is what is causing the trouble.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Just to quickly read some of the comments of our participants. Dennis says, this is insightful. Thank you for sharing. I also have a couple of questions here. Someone is asking, what's the name again? I think Nana Yao is saying, what's your take on peer-to-peer feedback as a tool for improving soft skills? What's your take on peer-to-peer feedback as a tool for improving soft skills? That's a question from our participants. Yvonne, maybe you can attempt this one for us.
Okay. So, I mean, as part of the feedback process, peer-to-peer feedback, I think, is very relevant. Why? Because most people, you would feel more comfortable with a peer giving you feedback, whether positive or negative. And so, peer-to-peer feedback, if taken seriously, can really help you improve your soft skills. Maybe what that peer may be revealing to you, your boss maybe is just holding back sharing with you, but because it's your peer, he or she is able to open up and tell you, because it depends on how people receive feedback. Most people are feedback averse. Some people do not want to receive back. So if my boss tells me, Yvonne, you are not doing well, immediately some people will get, I mean, panic attack. Does he want to sack me? Am I going home? But when your peer is telling you that, okay, Yvonne, this area you could have done better in it, you would take it more friendly. So I think peer to peer feedback is very necessary, and we should give it much, I mean, utmost importance. And at times you should even go out of your way to ask your colleagues at work, how am I doing on this? How am I doing? And their feedback, you should take that seriously and improve on your soft skills.
Thank you for sharing that. It also ties in beautifully with what Christian shared earlier, that there are so many interventions, and clearly this is one of them. People will find it easier to receive feedback on from people they're on the same level with than from people who are above and telling it to them. So it's not just about the money involved. There are so many interventions, and when you have the right people telling you what to do, you realize that it's not just about investing, it's about investing the right way and getting your return on investment. Kennedy quoted what Christian said. He said, 50% of the problem is solved when a proper needs analysis is conducted. I'll take my final question and then we can be taking this home. Jennifer says, how can we make soft skills development a continuous process rather than a one-time training? I'll take both of your thoughts on this one and then we can wrap it up.
I will say that every organization needs to have a learning strategy for their people. Like we're saying, it is not a one-off training that solves the problem. But I have seen one-off trainings do a lot of magic for people. Privileged to work with Jobberman on a 5 days soft skills training program for women in tech, young women in tech, and the transformation we saw in 5 days, man. Yeah. So yes, it can be done. It can be done, but it needs to be sustained for you to see the real effect. Because in 5 days, we saw these young ladies move from, there was a lady who could not stand up to speak throughout the session, but on the final day, when everyone had to make a presentation, she was like, this is the first time in my life I have to do this. And when she spoke, everyone gave her a standing ovation. And we asked, well, how do you learn? She said, I learned all the bits and pieces from here. Everything we're taught, I put them together, and I was able to do this amazing presentation. So yes, it can be done. But that person needs to get more opportunities to practice and to do presentations at their workplace to excel in doing this. If they get to a place of work and they don't get that opportunity again, and the culture of the place says no one can talk, it's only the manager who can talk. The culture of the place says no one can think. I think for you, you do the work. Then it means that the training we do will become useless. So the training is good, but the culture of the work environment need to be designed such that it promotes people's creativity, promotes problem solving, promotes people communicating and sharing their views and their thoughts on things, giving young people the opportunity to make presentations, to work on projects as a team, and coming up with solutions for management to adopt. I mean, these are the things we can do to ensure that that soft skill is developed in this workplace. When you look into the multinationals, these things are properly done in those places. So you find that a young person is head of the department. You compare that with some private company somewhere or some public sector institution somewhere, and a 55-year-old is doing the same function in that organization. So it's when we give people the opportunity to develop themselves, they can do it. So let's just create an enabling environment that sustains soft skill development.
Thank you, Christian. So employers, create opportunities for your employees in their areas of challenges. Yvonne, your last words.
Yeah, so I would say that, I mean, taking a look into the future, the world of work is getting more complex, and I mean, technologically advanced, a lot of innovations. I mean, and so one key thing I want to leave with my audience is that develop the soft skills of adaptability. A lot of people, in the face of changing circumstances, will immediately quell or even stress out immediately, depressed. And so be conscious about the skill of acquiring the skill of adaptability, being able to change as the situation requires. Not this the way we're doing it. If you be honest with yourself, the same things you used to do back then, even just last year, if you do those same things the same way now, it may not be relevant. And so building adaptability is very key. And especially because, I mean, technologically, the world is advancing. AI is taking over some spaces of work where the things you are doing, you may no longer need to do it. And so being digitally, I mean, open up yourself. Be a digital literate. What is going on? What are the new tools that I need to learn? What are the new technical things that are coming up? Like Christian was saying, very soon the technical skills may even become the soft skills. And so be very adaptable, be very open to changing circumstances, learn new things, build yourself so that you can always remain relevant. Because I always say that no matter how AI would advance, it cannot replace the human touch. And that is where soft skills come in. You can be a very good cook, excellent delivery, but without the right communication skills, the right human relation skills, being able to interact with your people, your food may be good, but nobody would want to be served. And so I mean, those are my few words I would want to share. Adaptability is key, and being digitally literate.
Thank you so much, Yvonne. So to our employers, the G2 promo is ongoing. Don't miss the chance to get twice the value when you post a job. Buy a listing and get one for free. Take advantage of this limited time offer and get access to the best talent in Ghana. Post a job today. Thank you so much, everyone. All too soon, we have arrived at the end of our webinar today. A huge thank you to our incredible speakers, Yvonne and Christian. Thank you so much for joining us today. It was really insightful. I trust that this session was recorded so that we can always go back to it Yes, on our Facebook, our LinkedIn, our social media handles will have this session. You can always go back to listen to them. Thank you so much, and do have a wonderful rest of day.
Thank you.
Thanks for the opportunity, and bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, Christian. Nice meeting you.
Dear employer, are you ready to double your hiring power? Introducing the Q2 promo. Twice the talent, twice the value. Here's how it works. Buy a listing and get one listing for free and enjoy faster, more accurate shortlisting from now to the 7th of March 2025. And here's what you get: access to over 700,000 profiles, relevant candidates for your role, tailored tests to help you find the most competent talent, invite top 10 passive candidates who meets your requirement to apply, and the icing on the cake, free soft skills training for your team. Less stress, value for money. Don't miss out. It's time. Jewel 2. Twice the talent, twice the value. Post the job now. Dear employer, are you ready to double your hiring power? Introducing the Jewel 2 promo. Twice the talent, twice the value. Here's how it works. Buy a listing and get one listing for free and enjoy faster, more accurate shortlisting from now to the 7th of March 2025. And here's what you get: access to over 700,000 profiles, relevant candidates for your role, tailored tests to help you find the most competent talent, invite top 10 passive candidates who meets your requirement to apply, and the icing on the cake, free soft skills training for your team. Less stress, value for money. Don't miss out. It's time. Jewel 2. Twice the talent, twice the value. Post the job now. Dear employer, are you ready to double your hiring power? Introducing the Jewel 2 promo. Twice the talent, twice the value. Here's how it works. Buy a listing and get one listing for free and enjoy faster, more accurate shortlisting from now to the 7th of March 2025. And here's what you get: access to over 700,000 profiles, relevant candidates for your role, tailored tests to help you find the most competent talent, invite top 10 passive candidates who meets your requirement to apply, and the icing on the cake, free soft skills training for your team. Less stress, value for money. Don't miss out. It's time. Jewel 2. Twice the talent, twice the value. Post the job now.